Hello everyone, this is Thomas Pepin NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin and let's play some NHL. So we're on Season 6, Episode 3 of NHL 23 Franchise Mode where I've taken over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are 10 games into the season and we sit at 3-6-1. We originally had the plan to pick up a couple defensemen that were playing with Vancouver at this point, which were Hague and Spurgeon. We were going to pick them up. Well, we were aiming at 20 games into the season, but because of our start, I thought it would be best to do it right away. Our defensive depth isn't the worst to start the season, but our sixth defenseman, well, sixth and seventh weren't good. And so we got these guys to kind of add the depth we wanted, needed. Yeah, so anyways, and then the other thing, we're currently spending just slightly too much. I don't think I looked closely enough at the exact cap space we had, but we're still okay. We're able to maintain an extra how many guys? Wait, because so I guess no, we are dead on. It's just I think if we had more injuries, we'd run into more problems. I don't know. Anyways, we're at least at a manageable level, and in this case, we actually have to play defenseman on our fourth line, but that's no big deal. And so at this moment, I don't really know what the problem is. If it's that we have a new coach, if it's that players are underperforming, like in terms of stats, they are. But is there a problem with the player combination we have? Goaltending hasn't been good. There's a number of different things, and we don't know the answers. So I think the plan's going to be to get to I don't know what a good cutoff point is. So I was thinking 20 or 30 games, and then we might need to make major changes. And realistically, I should allow myself to have an off season, but the plan is, well, and so far we've won the President's Trophy every season. The plan is every season win the President's Trophy and compete for a cup. No exceptions. And for example, we're expected to make the Stanley Cup finals. So, and finish first in our division. So really, I don't think we have much of a choice in the matter. That's what we have to try to do. And that's what we're going to try to do. So, yeah, so it's just a question of when we need to make a decision. And that's under the assumption that we do poorly moving forward. Maybe that's the wrong assumption. So what I should probably do is just play things out and then kind of make decisions as we go. In other news, just before the stream, I had a quick look, and there is a franchise player available in this coming draft. So we are going to do absolutely everything we can to get him, because the value of a franchise asset is huge. What we're willing to give up is probably a lot, because I mean, if you saw our lineup, it is extremely deep. So much so that even our fourth line's deep. So we can sacrifice a bit of that for, or to get a player of that importance. Now, what we've discovered is to lock them up long term, they're asking for far too much. The only one that was close to reasonable was Bedard. I think we ended up trading him to the Islanders, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he went for 9.7 million, which is doable, but as soon as you get to the 10 million, as far as I'm concerned, it's starting to get a bit overpaid. Now, that changes as salaries increase and such. So with inflation, the maximum salary I'm willing to spend is higher, but yeah, still we want to keep it reasonable because as you can see, like we're not spending anything crazy anywhere. So yeah, so anyway, so we got lots of options. So worst case, once we come to the draft, if we don't get the first overall pick, which at this point, based on the picks we currently hold and where they're sitting in the standings, we might not be lined up. And then also it depends on the lottery. So I think the plan, actually, I don't know if I really necessarily have a plan right now. But we have Kucherov on a 1-year contract. We can trade him, no problem. We have Doughty, but his asset value is not that high. And then we've got lots of players that if they underperform, we can always trade them. So lots of options. At what point we're going to execute is a different story. And the problem is because there's the lottery, we don't actually know who's going to have the pick. So to trade too much just doesn't make sense. We can always do it at the last second at the draft. So anyways, so that's kind of what I'm trying to think about right now. But like I was saying, I think it's more we need to keep simming and make a decision once we get further on based on how we're doing. So let's get going. So we got a win, which about time. It hasn't been going that well. We got two guys injured. They're actually not far off from coming back. So yeah. So we'll actually be improving soon. I think that was Skinner that would have played that game. All right, back to back. As always, I play the, in theory, better goalie against the worst team, and the worst goalie against the better team always get points in the bag, is my theory. Both teams aren't that great. So Skinner is the first in the rotation, so he'll play the weaker team in theory, which is Tampa. So we're already set up for that. Now, I don't think both players are fully healthy. I think it's just one. Nice. So we're starting to get some wins. That was an away game. Yeah, so that's what I was expecting. So Hughes is ready to play, and then Pasternak's still not healthy. Okay, and so we've gotten a few more games, well, at least a couple, to evaluate who goes where. 6 goals. The goal level is good, but the point level is not. 2 points? We just signed you for 8 years. That's horrible. So at the moment, he's going to go to the third. How has he done since he's 1 goal? Playing as a forward, that's good. How has Spurgeon done? -2. So what I'm actually going to do in this case is Hague's going to come in. And Spurgeon's going to come out. And then we're going to scratch him and put Hughes in. Hughes goes up. So McKay is not decided yet. Hughes, he was doing good enough. Martins isn't playing well either. And what line can you play on? So at this moment, at least, Martins is going to go to the 4th based on his performance. 1 assist in 12 games. Playing on the first line is just, it's not anywhere good enough. Sonnenberg is nearly at a point per game. I'm going to keep him where he is because he's played well. 12 points in 12 games is good. 8 points in 12 games, good enough maybe. This fit's good for the first though, so we'll, I guess, move people around a little bit. Thompson, 7 points. We'll put you back up to the second. $74.80. So Ollie's gonna stay at center. Nichushkin, 6 points. So he could go to the first. Two points or 1 point. So I guess we'll. Yeah, I guess we'll go like this. Man, our team's just not playing well. Provorov's doing fantastic, 10 points in 12 games. 9 points in 12 games. His plus minus was worse, and now it's improved. His plus minus is good, but the production's low for both of them. Hronik, really bad plus minus. Hague, not so good either, but most of those are from before us. So defense will keep the same for now. McKay, Hughes, Kucherov. McKay, Hughes, Kucherov. Sonnenberg, Ollie, Thompson. Sonnenberg, Ollie. Do we put Thompson? I guess we'll just go, excuse me, based on performance right now. Nichushkin and Courtnall, I think, are the ones at reasonable points. So Nichushkin. Let's go Courtnall here. Chushkin here. Provorov on the first. This one's tough. I guess we'll go as is. Doughty comes here. Oh, wait, no, we'll do the opposite because of the handedness here. So Hughes, Kucherov is correct. So Nichushkin for these. Okay, so who comes off here? McKay, Hughes, Kucherov, Doughty. Okay. Hughes. Kucherov. Doughty. Sonnenberg, Ollie, Nichushkin, Provorov. He is left. He's left. Hey Ridley, thanks for tuning in again. Nice to see you. Then this is Nichushkin, and Ollie. Okay, and then how does this go? Oops. Is it McKay playing on the first line? I think so. So I guess we'll go with this. Ollie, who's 87, 89. So I think because who's the other guy on the first line? So maybe what I should check is what happens if I do Kucherov. Stays the same. Because what I want to have, so I don't want to have the negative penalty kill things. I don't know how much it impacts everything, but I don't want that. One I can handle. More than that, I think it's a bad idea. Who did I have again? Ollie and Thompson or Sonnenberg, I think was -2. Oh, I forgot to check the forward guys. Or center guys, I mean. So this makes it a 0. That's a +1. So we currently have Martins, Ollie, Von Fersen, Courtnall, or Nichushkin. +2, eh? Oh yeah, but there's the pairings. I forgot about thinking about the pairings. Oh, and this also has Hughes on it, and he's not supposed to be there. Okay, so it was Hronik and Hague. So it's still 0. That's good news. Slave Insiders, good. Provorov, Doughty, that's good. Provorov, Doughty, Courtnall. Guess we're sticking with Courtnall. Flavin Cider. That one was Hughes McKay. Hughes. Let's go with Hughes. And then Heronic. Hague. Martins, no. Thompson, no. Hughes, no. Converson, no. McKay, no. So far, Courtnall's the one. And that means Martins, no. Thompson, maybe. Thompson it is. Oh, one thing I should maybe check. Can I go with a different guy here? Or wait, first I should check if Hughes can go to number 1. Can't, so it has to be Thompson. Alright, and then we have, how do we have this? We won't do it based on that, so we'll do Hughes, Kucherov, Ollie, Sonnenberg. I guess Courtnall McKay. '86. Yep. And then let's go Slavin cider. Provorov, Dowdy, Hronik, Hague. This one is K. Kucherov, Hughes, Ollie, Sonnenberg, Thompson, Chushkin, Von Fersen, Cornell. This one's tough because the defense are performing better than our forwards, which is shameful. We'll do that. Here we'll go Hughes. And oh. Hughes, Kucherov, Ollie, McKay. Oh, we'll go Sonnenberg. Cool. Nolan's in for this game. As long as I didn't forget where we're at. Because doing the line changes takes a while. And then we're going to have to do them again once we have Pasternak come back. Speak of the devil. Man, we're just doing horrendous. Maybe I should bump these up one. All right, so if Pasternak is back, he's going to replace who? Janik. He was doing very well. Hughes is still doing okay. Cade keeps scoring. So 8 and 13. 7 and 13. 9, 13, 12. What do we do? Kucherov or Pasternak goes to the second line. Guess we'll put Pasternak. They are the same, I believe. Oh, wait, no, they're not. Are they? I can't tell. We'll do this to split up the performance, and then 2.7 points. And Chushkin's upped his performance a bit. Fersen can go to the fourth. Thompson, third. I think Courtnall's better at face-offs. I guess we'll do that. This one's tough. Wait. Is it Pasternak that's on the first? It is, okay. Oh yeah, because, yeah, they haven't played well. Okay. So then it's Kucherov on the second. But who's gonna go on D. Seven goals versus 2 goals. Okay, so we'll have to do this. Wait, is Kucherov? I guess Kucherov's a setup guy. So Kucherov, and Ollie. Pasternak. This one's tough. I think Sonnenberg's going to have to come out. Ollie's the shooter, so Nichushkin there. So, distributor, Kucherov. And then, does Pasternak fit here somewhere? Hughes, does it get better with Pasternak? No. Okay, then Hughes, Pasternak. Okay, Kucherov. This one's Pasternak. Kucherov. That's fine. We'll put Pasternak. Cool. Skinner's back in. Cool. I think that's good. Well, we're starting to get out of the slide. I don't know necessarily what's causing it. I mean, having everybody healthy obviously helps, but and extra defenseman helps. Like, there's clearly a lot of things. I wonder to what degree the coaching has been a factor. That's the thing about, so like when you make a lot of changes to a team, it's super difficult to figure out what exactly is producing certain results, whether it's good or bad. This goes down, goes up. Cool. Shouldn't be any injuries. But one thing out of interest, so we still don't know about this guy. Well, I guess in all likelihood he's not going to be franchised because Central Scouting has him as third. So it seems unlikely. And then this guy is a right wing, which is very rare to have a good, well, I mean, comparatively speaking, it's more rare to have a good right winger, and then to have a good right winger that's a franchise player is going to be pretty important. And then his personality might be good too, actually. So we'll have to see. There's a top 4D. Oh, but, well, for when he's defensive. And second thing, I forgot there is, I think, for defensemen, there's an elite, whatever you want to call it, categorization title. Another loss. Wait, no, that was good. It's 254, 350, 486. Wait, 45? That's supposed to be 49, so that down, that down. I think that's good. Okay. Oh, I forgot to check about injuries. Pretty sure there's none, but just in case. So far, Skinner stays in. All right, so 7-5, 4-8-1. So then Nolan plays game 1. Oops. Six games played, 1 win. Jeez. Hey, you got one. That was away. Oh, should we play him? It's only 1 game. Wrist shot power, face-offs doesn't matter. Puck control. It's not the end of the world. Deking, not that good. Accuracy, passing. You know what? We will do the lines, even though I don't want to because it takes time and he's going to be right back the next game, but 5 minus 11. Anyone done good enough here? 4 points. He's really came out of nowhere. Him too. So they had like nothing before, and then now all of us. Well, I guess we've been winning. I don't know if that's what's changed, but penalty kill. Hague, Spurgeon. And that really tanked. Yeah, and it's supposed to be Skinner in net, I think. So that's 2 losses for Skinner. So he comes out. We can put Doughty back in. Five minus 12. 1 minus 1. Should I trade Heronic? How many years do you have left? 2 years. That's totally doable. Be 1 year early. Look though, he goes from 60 points plus 37 to 5 points in 18 games, but minus 12. We'll wait. But it sure is tempting. Oops, wrong way. Hague, Heronic, Provorov, Doughty. Alright, so no one comes in. Thompson here. So 8-8-2 is not the end of the world. And we're only 2 points behind the people ahead of us in the standings. Come on, goalie. This guy can't win a game. Actually, to be honest, a lot of our goalies can't win a game right now. I think that was away, right? So, one more game to 20. Come on! The amount of line changes I've had to make has been crazy. Power play. Oops. Hague. All right, so we're at the 20 game mark. Oh, I just realized though, the teams behind us, uh, they've got like one team, 5 games in hand, 2 games. They're 2 points behind, 2 games. So we could easily be down to 6. Yikes. That was away. December 29th. So he's out for a month. Yikes. Oh yeah, I gotta do scouting. Oops. Cool. So based on where we sit at the moment, I so we've got some flexibility because we didn't keep going lower or stay where we were at. We're actually moving up, kind of stabilizing, it appears. So what I think I'm going to do is at 30 games reevaluate. If we haven't moved up, then we'll probably do something. if we stay the same, then yeah, we'll have to do something. Oh yeah, I'm glad there is this reminder. So there might, after the next game, there might be some RFAs that are worth picking up. 11-7, 11-9. So because the first one's more important, because they're in our division, we're gonna go with the better goalie. Because if there's a big gap between the two teams, then we go with the weaker team. But in this case, they're about the same. So we'll go with the better one. Yeah, we're not making much sales, revenue for tickets this season because we've been doing so poorly. I guess it makes sense, obviously. If you're not playing well, then people aren't going to be willing to pay crazy prices. Nice, we won the divisional game. That's important. I think that was an away game. Yeah, and if you haven't seen this series before, the reason why it matters if it's an away game or a home game is after home games, I can adjust pricing. After away games, it doesn't tell me anything about pricing, so I don't need to look at it. So we're on a bit of a streak, 7-2-1 last 10. 13-9-2 is reasonable. I'm pretty sure our other worst start was probably around the same, so I think we've kind of gotten out of it. Now the problem is, great you're on a streak, but the thing is everything tends to regress to the mean. And so when I say that, if you're not familiar with the terms. That means that everything comes back to normal eventually. So if you win, like let's say 8 in a row or something like that, in all likelihood, if your team isn't technically that good, then in the next 8 games you should lose 4, maybe even lose 6, depending on how good of a team you actually have. So yeah, it's important not to get too high when you're doing well, because things typically go back to where they should be. Now, mind you, I think we've had stretches where we have like 20 wins, 2 losses, or something crazy. So, yeah, anything anything can happen, especially with this team, because it's supposed to be very good. Oh shoot, I forgot to do something I said I was going to do, which was not that, this. So unsigned free agents, there could be a bunch. Nobody here is any good. I don't think anybody's new or worth considering from there. Nothing going on here either. What are we at? So that is 15, 24 games played. 24 games played. Do I do anything else? Out of interest, let's see if we have information on that other guy. Yeah, so it, assuming things can't change in terms of potential, which my assumption is they don't. So once it's discovered that they're franchise elite or whatever, I don't think you can go from elite to franchise or franchise to elite. So in all likelihood, there's one guy. Look at that production, eh? He's almost 2 points per game. Yeah, in all likelihood, we're going to be going for this one guy in the draft. Judry, I think that's how you'd say his name. Or Judry, I don't know. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about is looking at our player stats, not just our team performance at this point, but I think we'll just do it at 80, or 80, at 30. What's your story? $24. Nah, it's not worth it. Okay, so I think our prices have stabilized finally. Most of them at least. Oops. Hello, McCoy. Thanks for tuning in. You're my special viewer. Yeah, I can see that you're here, so I guess you must be watching, so good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. I just did that. So how many games? So we're at 25. So still 5 more till we evaluate things here, or reevaluate. I don't want this right now. Come on. Ugh. So I'm going to need to pull somebody up. I hope it's going to allow us, because this is where I'm not sure from cap space stuff if it will. Oh, based on remaining, yeah, I think technically it will. How has he done? Not that great in the AHL, but he did well with us. 10 and 13, that's quite good. It was Spurgeon that got injured, so then a right shot would be ideal. So Fleury, I think, is for sure the pick. Yeah. And no, it says that we don't have the cap space. How do we do this then? Oh, we've got scratched forward. Oops, wrong thing. I'm talking about that. I haven't checked for a while if Joseph is still the guy that stays in. 8 points in 26. Versus... Yeah, so Janik's going to go... What? Minimum skater. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to do multi. Oops. Oh, come on. How long have you started it? So I guess you're asking when I started the series, like how many seasons I've done. So, anyways, I'm at well, this is the 6th season, so you'll see it in the title of the stream. So it's episode 6 or episode 3 of season 6. So we lost Janik. That sucked, but we're stuck with that. Oh, and yeah, McCoy, I mean, you probably, since you didn't know that, yeah, basically in the past, so because we haven't finished this season, I don't know the result yet, but in the past 5 seasons, we won the President's Trophy. All 5 seasons, we won 2 Stanley Cups. We're in another Stanley Cup final, Game 7, and then the other 2 seasons we lost in the first round. So pretty good results so far. So yeah, that's where everything's at, just in case you're interested. I wonder how much Yannick was, or Yannick, whatever, however you pronounce it, how much he was worth. Let's go take a look out of interest. So he went to Florida. So a pretty big chunk of value. That sucks. Oh, and how much? He hasn't played well, so I mean, we're not like missing out anything crazy. How many years did he have left? 2. So unfortunate, but it's the joys. And what happened our last game? So we won. What was before that? Loss and won. So he still stays in net. So I think it's Skinner's currently our second goalie, so he's going to play game 1. Good, 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 good. $46, $50, and $62. So yeah, it's supposed to be Skinner, Net, Thompson for the weaker team. See, and this is what I mean. That's a great example of the back-to-back games there. So play your stronger goalie, or in our case, because we have 3 goalies of kind of equal skill, I guess. Whoever's playing the best, play them against the weaker team, because these points we got here with Winnipeg, if we went the opposite, we could have easily lost both games. So always, always, always get points in the bag where you can. So that's why I always play the weaker or lower in the rotation goalie against the better team, and then the reverse. So the better goalie against the worse team. And I don't know if you guys just noticed, Provorov is our point leader, which is Like, that makes no sense. But okay. And it's not a good sign if your defenseman is your point leader and he was under a point per game. Oh, but that's the thing, is we're not seeing guys that would have been a point per game or over a point per game and might have been injured or whatever. Anyways. So we're 8-2-0 in the last 10. So I don't think we need to make any dramatic changes. I will take a look, though, at individual player stats, because there might be some guys that just aren't fitting, and we'll make some decisions maybe. And just for reference, I think this is a good thing to notice. We were at sellouts for or sold to capacity for parking. And if you've noticed, each 50 cents that I decrease, it actually maintains the same sales. So this is what technically you're supposed to do with everything that requires maintenance, is that you get to the correct price given the maintenance, and then you decrease as the maintenance goes down, or like the repair level, whatever you want to call it. I forget what exactly it's called. Yeah, it is the maintenance level. So yeah, and I think I saw 44 was the parking maintenance level. So yeah, at a certain point, I don't know if it always decreases. So like, for example, if it's at 100%, does that mean we can go up to this certain level and then every point it goes down, so 99, 98, if you have to decrease by 50 cents each? I don't know. So that's some stuff that technically I could test or could have tested, but since I haven't owned this game since 2014, and I wanted to start streaming pretty quickly, I didn't have the time to test absolutely everything. I just wanted to make sure I understood how the broad things worked. And so yeah, that's maybe once NHL 24, I can't even remember which one we're on. NHL 23, yeah. So once we're on 24, maybe I'll take a bit more time to test things. But yeah, we'll see. So we are at 30 games now. That was, pretty sure, an away game. Cool, so we can check here, and I don't think there's new injuries. So Spurgeon comes back in. Still a bit annoyed that we lost Janik. This is NHL numbers? 3 points in 4 games. What happened? He's 29. Wow. It's not like his line fit's perfect or anything. That's weird. How's Hague done? 3 points even. So that's perfect. Just hold water as our third pairing. Well, to be honest, for any of our defense is the truth, but especially our third pairing. So that's good news. We are going to put Sturgeon back in. Because he's technically better. Let's just double check that Yeah, so he slotted in correctly. So, I should check the goalies. So Thompson's still in. We'll save, and then we'll have a look at player performance and maybe not necessarily make immediate decisions, but at least start considering where we're at. So good job for Provorov. That's good news for us. So McKay's kind of turned it around. So he was half a goal per game, but that's all he was getting. And now he's at half a goal per game plus more or less being a point per game. So that's a huge change. So McKay's in our good books. Hughes is doing great. Pasternak doing great. So that's our first line, I believe. So our first line's doing fantastic. Ollie's kind of dipped. He was at a point per game. Kucherov is, I guess, technically improved, but not completely. Sonnenberg is dipped, so we can actually move him back to his correct spot. Thompson is kind of dipped. Courtnall, I think about the same. Nichushkin about the same. These plus minuses have gotten better, so that's good news. And our defensive point production is fine. So like this shouldn't be the case where Joseph is on the fourth line, has 10 points, and we still have some guys that like there's no way Von Fursten should only have 7 points. Martin's only 6 points. Now they're playing on the fourth line at the moment, but it's just not acceptable. So we'll shake it up a bit and I guess go from there. Now, it might not be advisable to shake it up given that we've been winning. And actually, that's a good point. So the risk is, okay, by changing it up, we actually could improve, but we could get worse. If we stay the same, then we're going to have a good shot at the cup. If we get worse, we won't have a good shot. And the other thing to factor in is we can have injuries, and then that might force us into adjustments anyways. So I think being cautious at this point is actually the smartest decision. Because if we're winning, so like our last 10 is, I think what I just said was 8-2. Yeah. So if we're currently playing at an 8-2 level, which has been consistent for basically the past, I think, 20 games or so. Worst case, if we kind of regress slightly, then that is still good enough to guide us into the playoffs. If you see where, like the space we have with people below us, in our division at least. So Ottawa's the only one that's kind of any sort of immediate maybe concern. So if they got all their points there, they'd be first. Well, they'd be ahead of us and then potentially first in the division. So I think it's most important that we win, and as a result, that means don't make dramatic changes. Where do we sit in the conference? So we're not even. Oh, that's entire league. Yeah. Let's just look at Eastern Conference. So we're third in the conference with that poor of a record. Well, I should 17, 11, and 2 is not a poor record. It's just compared to what we've done before, it's not that great. Like our point percentage last season was 75 and we're down to 60. That's 15 percentage points difference. That's a chunk. But in any case, so we're kind of we're in a fine enough spot. I don't think we should play around with things too much, even though it's tempting. Now, maybe some minor changes. So for example, people that can kind of change like second to third line or fourth to third. I'm just going to briefly consider that. So 7 points and 6 points. So I don't think anybody's anywhere as bad. $19, 17. And it's unfortunate because I kind of want to re-sign him, but he doesn't fit. Ollie's kind of dipped in his performance. I mean, 21 points, it's not bad, but again, our target is basically a point per game for our first and second line, and then half up to 3/4 of a point per game for our third line, and then a quarter up to a third of a point per game for our fourth line, something like that. 21, 18, 17, 17. So we signed Kucherov and he hasn't really done all that fantastically. I mean, really our second line's not that great. The problem is they're doing fine. And our team's doing fine. See, what's especially funny, like look at this. So 6 points in 30 games. Last season, 32 points in 33 when he was with us. He was playing on our first line. Now he's on our fourth. It's crazy. So it feels like we're going to trade Kucherov. We've got lots of guys that can go on to the second line. Maybe not Nichushkin. But a lot of these guys can also go on the first. So we've got some good mix, and like these guys even, like we haven't even touched them, and they can go on various lines. So it seems like prior to the deadline we're going to trade Kucherov, in particular because of his trade value. So we signed him for nothing. We only have him for a year. That's enough for more than a first round pick, so even better than the first overall pick position we could trade for. And this is why I always try to sign high value free agents, so long as they're not crazy expensive. because like this is a great example where now I can trade him and get something for free, and he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't not fit in our team, but he hasn't really fit either. So it's not a huge loss. And you saw how deep we are. We don't really need him, given his performance. If he was playing fantastically, then we'd keep him because we want to win the cup, of course. But he's not standing out, so it's not critical. So. And nobody else we really need to move. So McKay we're trading in the off season. Likewise for Sonnenberg. So that's fine actually. So if we're subtracting 1, 2, 3 players, Von Fersen and Martins, who are on the fourth and who shouldn't be on the fourth, will move up into whatever positions. Hopefully they'll play better next season or play better this season or whatever. And then plus we add in in theory at least, the franchise player we're going to draft. And then that just fills all 3 spots. Plus we haven't even spoken of free agents in the next offseason. So next season will be just as good, and it won't have cost us any of our extra assets. And on that note, probably what's going to happen is we'll be trading both of these first round picks for a first round in the next year. So since Kucherov's basically going to be in exchange for the franchise player, those two get moved to next season in case there's a franchise player next season. So yeah, and so basically and on top of it, we got those 2 other players that were trading, Sonnenberg and McKay. So we'll actually be adding another first round pick to our cupboards, or somewhere around there. Let's see if anything's changed. No. You're asking for more money now. No thank you to either of you. Now, even though McKay has been a stellar player, 44 goals, 65 points previous season, still not happening. Sorry, bud. We're not paying anybody $10 million. Unless you're a perfect fit on the team, you're scoring like 60 goals, you're doing like McDavid kind of performance. It's the only way. Okay. So I think we can get through maybe a couple more games. Did I do the scouting? No. Guess I'll have to do this. So that franchise guy is supposed to be like Tarasenko. But, well, if he's franchise, he's technically better. But so that means he's got to be a shooter. It says he's a two-way forward. Cool beans, that's done. See, my one concern though is if I start simming through more, we're gonna have injuries and it'll take like a bunch of time to edit the lines. Let's just do two more. Oh, so that wasn't the parking that was down to 40 something. It was the store. Since our performance has gone up, should I try to increase the prices or just leave it? I'll just leave it. He's back on the 29th. Thompson's still in. It seems like I'd have to. Oh, yeah, actually, I didn't take a look at the goalie stats. I'll sim the next game and we'll see goalie stats. Good, no injury. That would have been annoying. Oh, I forgot about parking last time. So we'll end with taking a look at our goalie stats here. So, from a win-loss perspective, Thompson has played great. 12-2-0. 907 is not the best. Like league average, I think in the NHL last season was 917 or something like that. So, nonetheless, I'm still okay with that. I think this season we won the cup here, 23-24. So, yeah, so I mean, he's better than he was that season. So I'm okay with that. And the winning's the most important thing. 5-5-1's not good. 8-7-9. On that note, maybe I should make goaltending changes. Because he hasn't fit. He hasn't won. So why am I keeping him? 2-4-1, 8-6-9. Now this guy's a different story because we have him locked up for 8 seasons, and I thought it's when you call up a player he can get claimed, not when you send him down. But anyways, what I was just wondering is if I send him down and then get 2 goalies. So he can get sent down. Huh. I know he's on a one-way, but he's not getting overpaid. Oh, but he's probably developing with us, though. We've got 2 goalie coaches. And it's not bad if he gets only a few starts and kind of gets knocked around in the rotation, it's not a big deal. I mean, our overall team performance won't be as good, but for his development, it will be. Because for him to go down to the AHL, I don't think he's going to develop better, given what we've seen so far with development of goalies when we've had them down there. So I'm not going to send him down, but I will trade Skinner, and I'm going to do that immediately. So, okay, so what's the situation? Because I know he is paid more than I would like to pay. He's got 2 years left, I believe. So, what can we get? Vladar didn't fit, but he also didn't not fit. He was kind of mediocre. Yeah, 899 is not good enough save percentage though. He was 17, 5, and 4, good winning, but you can be mediocre on our team and still win. So yeah, so he's not there. We want 80 or above. He's playing AHL. Lankinen's always come up, but I don't think he hasn't been consistent with his stats. This team's been bad though, and he's a 5.2 and 3.933 save percentage. But he's been too up and down. I don't trust he's going to be any better. Blomqvist. Who is he and who's this? Is he a computer generated? I think his poise is too low though, so that's a no. Kochetkov. I haven't noticed him for a while. Look at those stats. Those are quite reasonable. Oh, some of those are AHL, but that save percentage is pretty darn good. And Chicago wasn't a good team. New York, I don't know. Calgary, I'm pretty sure was a bad team is it a bad team this season? I don't know. What's his 77 poise? We need to have. Well, I don't know for sure that poise necessarily produces performance, but I have a feeling it does, and especially in the playoffs. What if we get Mrazek back? He's been good for us. .928. He was good. So far, Mrazek with Chicago. Oh, the other thing, we're supposed to be considering our AHL guys and then signing free agents. Replacements for those guys. 890, but he played 14 games. Vancouver's not good. 914. Well, we've won a cup with Mrazek, so he's ahead of Korpisalo. Pamelka, we couldn't win a cup with. This guy's always been tempting because he's elite, but he's never had good stats. I don't think Detroit's been that great, but Bobrovsky's an 80 still. Didn't we ride him in the playoffs and then he fell apart? Yeah. So Bobrovsky's a no. Gustafson, no. What's his story? Not bad. I bet his poise is low, and it is. Who's this? Goalie/goalie position? Isn't that interesting? Poise is too low. Varlamov, bad poise. Murray, no. No. Weinberg. There's not many options so far. Where are all the goalies? Oh, this is cheap. He's been pretty good generally. Poise isn't good enough though. Stolars, he's always come up, but he wasn't bad with us. I think he played in the playoffs though. Lost. Wolf, no. Forsberg, I don't think so. So I think the start of next stream we'll do the AHL trade things. This guy doesn't look bad. 25. Those are all reasonable stats. I bet your poise is no good though. It is good. Huh. What's his fringe starter though? I don't know if I like that categorization. So As much as he's tempting, we'll say no. I'm pretty sure this guy's stats have been garbage, and they have. Tarasov. Isn't he good in real life? He hasn't even played in the NHL here. Grubauer, maybe? 912, 906. Oh, those are AHL numbers. Never mind. I forget if we ever tried Brossois. I don't think we did. No. Not bad stats. Did he ever play playoffs? Once, and not that well. Treasure, I'm pretty sure, is a no. Who's this? All AHL, so no. Who's so no? Home. All AHL. That's it. So then it's gonna be, we're going back to Mrazek. Yeah. We know he works. We know Skinner hasn't worked. Mrazek is cheaper. Makes sense to me. So we can get more in return. The question is, what do we want? So they're 14, 14, and 4. Let's check something. So we have Seattle's pick. And who's the other one we have? Vegas. So do we think that Chicago's going to do worse? Their team's not that bad, actually. That's not good either. And Mrazek has done good. If we eliminate Mrazek, are they going to do worse? I have a feeling they're overperforming right now. Oh, but before I decide, let's look at Seattle's team. Because maybe Seattle will regress as well. Man, he's been good, eh? One of the guys we had but got rid of. Franchise player. But not paying $13 million, that's for sure. So who's going to do worse, Seattle or Chicago? check something. $32. Five, 6, 7. So the Blackhawks are probably going to do better because their division looks weaker. So then we'll keep Seattle. We'll get something else then. So we want Mrazek. We give up Skinner. Picks do we have? Maybe Skinner in a 5th for Mrazek in a 2nd or something like that. No, that won't work. Mrazek and... Oh. Mrazek in a 4th, I doubt it. Oops. Okay, so then we'll do that for third. I don't know if that's enough getting how we're getting back. Let's do that plus some unsigned guys. 1963. Let's try this. I guess this is as good as it's gonna get, and still not good enough, eh? Alright. Better not have... Okay, good. So then Mrazek comes to first backup, and we're good. So we're going back to last year's goaltending, basically. No, this is kind of back to when we won a cup. I think we had both goalies, so cool. So we will leave it there, and we'll deal with the AHL trades next start of the stream. Cool. And so just, I mean, to briefly comment, so we're 19, 11, and 2. And what were we, third in the league or something? Sixth in the league. It was third in the conference, right? Second in the conference now. Cool. So things have turned around, which is good. We didn't have to make any trades. Also good. We just had to bring in those 2 defensemen, I think. That kind of fixed it. Adjusted some lines, and I think that actually, well, to some degree solved it, but some guys are still not playing well, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. So yeah, if you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications, and the channel homepage has upcoming streams on regular NHL content. Nothing scheduled at this moment, but yeah, still waiting on last free agents to sign. For things I can't schedule on the platform, like franchise mode, that schedules in the About section of the channel. It runs Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be a pros whenever I have time or feel like it. Any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions likewise, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't think I'll have any time for Be a Pro, but I might. So maybe if you see that I come up, you can maybe have a look, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Talk later.